On today's show, we've got some photos of the new Tacoma in TRD off-road form, and these are not what we showed you last time. These are brand new photos. They come from Tacoma 4G, and we're going to get into it, and I'll put a link below in the descriptions if you guys want after this video. Go check them out. But if you're new to my channel, my name is David Boyd. I'm an auto journalist, and I love off-road trucks, and especially mid-size trucks, because I think that's the fun size, and that's right. I like the fun size of things because I'm a short guy. Anyways, let's get into these photos, and we'll bring this up, and you guys can play along at home. So here we go. Come from Tacoma 4G, and once, as always, there'll be a link down there. But this is a Bronze Oxide 2024 Tacoma TRD off-road with 6-speed manual transmission. That is right. Manual transmission. These are real world photos of the manual transmission. These aren't photos of just like the most crisp things and focused on what Toyota wants you to see. This is just probably a guy with an iPhone going, bing, there, cool. Got some photos of this thing. But as it says here, the 6-speed only comes in an SR double cab, the TRD Sport double cab, and the TRD off-road double cab. So the photos are here. But let's get into this. I want to bring these photos up just a little bit. And we're going to start with the creme de la creme, the interior of this truck. And this is pretty nice. Now, there's a couple things I'm going to point out, and one little thing I'm going to nitpick about, which is probably nothing. But first off, what is going on over here with the Death Star buttons? How many buttons are we going to have here? I'm assuming, each trim, there's specific things you can push there. But I feel like this is the Death Star. Like if those little buttons were glowing, I'd push one of them. Suddenly lasers would shoot together and I'd take out Alderaan. It would be crazy, but I play. But there's a lot of room for exciting things there. So what's going on there, Toyota? But we do have this little Toyota TRD red start-stop button there, which is pretty fun. But as you can see, there's no more color in this truck. Now, this is the TRD off-road, and is it the Pro? No, but I would like to see more color than just a red button. Maybe there's some trims about this that I don't know about until we can actually see these in person. We really won't know until we get to actually drive these things. But, this truck, the interior matches all the hard lines in this truck, matches the outside of the vehicle. And, we have seen the Tundra, so we had a kind of an idea what this truck was going to look like, but I think it looks really good. But here is what everybody's excited about. The manual transmission in this truck. And I, for one, I'm excited that Toyota is still offering a manual transmission when other brands can't do this because of cost, honestly. And the take rate is less than 5% for manual transmissions, especially trucks. Toyota sells over 200,000 a year, so it does offer them the ability to, hey, 5% of 200,000 is still way more than the other brands can do. And so we're going to take a chance and maybe keep offering that for a while. Now, does this, for this generation of this truck, does it stick around? You have to buy them to keep them sticking around. And I know there's crowds out there that like this because some of the other videos I've done with the Fords and Chevrolets, that's the number one complaint besides cab options. No manual transmission. All the other brands, people want a manual transmission. Now, with the Ford Raptor, I completely understand why there's no one there, but it seems like their lower trims, their XLTs down, they probably could have done this and people would have been happy. But I understand it comes down to financials and they want to make money on these and they can't sit there and put a manual transmission in stuff that's not going to sell well. Though I will say, Ford, you put a manual transmission with the 2.3 in the Bronco, same chassis, seems like it was a done deal. But anyways, we're talking about Toyotas. Ultimately, though, the interior of this thing looks great. I like the raised of this. It took me a minute when I first saw the Tundra like this I was in a TRD Pro of the Tundra. And it says Toyota there, and it's kind of got colors around it. It took me for a minute to kind of like that, but I like it. And I think with this red button, they could have just give this a little bit of color. Now, these are not production models, so I stress that, hey, what we're seeing here till Toyota says here, they're rolling down the line, go buy one, and then we see them in real life in person. I always take these with a grain of salt of, hey, they might be trying something. So as you can see, all the steering wheel buttons look great. Toyota always does a very good job with their steering wheel stuff. And speaking of steering wheel, that looks beefy. That looks like something you could really get your hands around. And whether you're rock crawling or doing some sort of a big adventure, like you want a nice gripping steering wheel. You don't want something thin that just wears you, like you're just bearing down as much as possible. You want a nice grip for that. And Toyota knows their customers. Now we do see the big screen here once again, which is it's all right. And you can see down here we've got our modes. You can click your modes. Here's looks to be off-road modes of some sort. Cup holder, everything about this. We've seen better photos than this of that interior, but these are real world photos. Now let's get into the back of this thing. Now we've seen this angle before. And as you can see here, these photos are coming from somebody at Toyota is dropping these photos. But the back of this truck, that color looks great. For one, I like kind of muted colors like this. I do like I would do the orange in a heartbeat with the TRD Pro, but probably everyday use, this might be a little more reserved. But the bumper, as you can see here, I commented about this the last time. As you can see, it looks like the frame is just sticking out. You know, that's a gap in the frame, probably where you can wash out the frame a little bit. And I had people going, well, could that be for a high lift jack? And probably not. Toyota doesn't want the responsibility of going, hey, take a farm jack to this thing. They don't want that kind of liability at all. And I just think it's where, you know, the normal other bumpers would kind of hide that just a little bit. And of course, this is a high clearance bumper with the off-road model. And, you know, is what it is. They're going to expose a little bit of that. But I will be curious because I know with the ARB bumpers and stuff kind of hides that a little bit. And is that so that they can attach a bumper point right there when they have their recovery points? Because the ARB, I believe, does have recovery points in about that spot, which you always want your recovery points around your frame. Maybe, but till we know, we don't know. And look at the hitch of this thing. That's a beastly damn hitch. That's a pretty freaking awesome. I'm not going to lie. But overall, the truck, we've seen these photos before, so I don't want to, you know, go too deep on them. One thing, though, I'm still going to beat Toyota up about is this TRD off-road badging. I understand there's heritage to that badging, you know, but this truck's so modern looking. I don't know. That just reminds me of mid-90s. I just wish they would update that just a little bit. I like the stamping that they do in some of the pro models and that we've seen in the bigger trucks and stuff. Obviously, this is more of the upper to mid trim, so it's not going to get all the cool features, but something better, something with some color pop to make this truck a little more exciting. I do like, though, that the blacked out badges on this, these fenders look great. They don't look as glossy black as we've seen on the Pro. And ultimately, that thing looks really good. And as we go to the front of this, yes, the chin is still there. People love to complain about that, guys. 9 bolts, I believe, Toyota engineers said, and it's gone. They have to do that to get it through regulations, you know, miles per gallon. This truck has to meet certain requirements. So that's why it's there, you know, and Toyota knows you're going to take the thing off and go have fun with this truck. But look under the hood here. You can see the battery way back here, which is nice, but it looks like, is there room that maybe we could flip this around and maybe run dual batteries in that? That would be pretty cool. What is going on with this air intake? Is that an air intake? What do you guys think that is? And you got all your lines and everything looks pretty standard under that. I don't know if that's an air box there or the computer. Normally they tuck the computers pretty high, but this thing looks pretty good. And I, for one, am very excited to drive this truck. So in the comments below, let me know what you think. Are you excited about this truck? Are you especially excited about the interior of this thing? Because that's where this is where you're camping out. This is your view you're going to be driving from. And for a mid $40,000 price tag, could you be comfortable in this thing? I could be. Honestly, yes. I'd love to try to do the manual transmission, shift it around for a little bit, see if I liked what I used to drive, or am I just lazy now and want the automatic? So in the comments below, let me know what you think about this truck. So whether it be 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, or these Tacomas, I'm damn sure going to drive. This has been your All-Terrain Nation. These have been some cool photos of the new TRD Off-Road Tacoma, and we're out. Peace, everybody. Love y'all.